Yes, guys, welcome to Chasing Green Arrows. We are back in our routine. Pre-season is in full swing, kind of. It's Friday night. He's Dean Jones. I'm Gianni Mattici. Hope you guys are well. Good to see so many of our chasers in the chat. Dean, how are things? Are things hottening up in the transfer window for you?
Yeah, I mean, look, to be honest, the first week of the transfer window is the hottest it's ever been in my life. So it's nothing compared to that, to be honest. But yeah, it's all good. I'm just reading about this Luton-Burnley match. Someone posted about it just as I started reading about it, actually. But Luton-Burnley is going to result in a blank game week. The Premier League match between Luton and Burnley, scheduled to take place Saturday, 19th of August, will be postponed. Luton were unable to offer the league and Burnley a guarantee that ongoing work at their stadium would not impact the scheduling of this match at late notice for supporters. So that's it. Luton Burnley assets. If we're going to have them.
So when's Luton's next home game after that? Is that in jeopardy as well then?
Good point. I don't know.
They purposely put no Luton home in game week 1, didn't they? I think that Luton purposely had an away game week 1, but
yeah,
wow.
So they got Burnley home, Chelsea away, so West Ham home 1st of September. So it's not that long after. It's only like 12 days or something. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But an interesting twist. At least it's Luton against Burnley. Imagine Luton's first home game was against like Man City. We'd be like, that would be mad. That would have been a mad twist. So at least it's Luton Burnley, but still interesting.
Yeah, that is. So they're not going to be. Drama. I wonder what that does to our 4 million spot, because a lot have got either Bayer from Burnley or Bell from Luton, and we might just now look at that week and go, do you know what? We're going to go shopping elsewhere, because come game week 2, we might need that sub. And I've got Baldock from Sheffield United, who plays Nottingham Forest in game week 2, and that's at least a bench option that we know will be getting minutes.
Yeah, Gets Footy points out that Man City Brentford in game week 18 is also blank, and that's true. It's because of Man City being in the FIFA Club World Cup. We don't need to worry about that right now, but it will be one, on our radar just before Christmas. 23rd of December, that one was due to be. So definitely a couple of twists early on. Keith says Luton Stadium work is ahead of schedule, so I think this is just a can't guarantee problem rather than a definite problem. That's good to know.
Okay. Oh, I've just switched my camera, Dean, to HD. So hopefully,
look at that.
Has that made a difference?
Oh, mate, I've never seen you looking so good.
Come on.
So you got a filter on this one, mate.
I got a new camera today, mate, and it's taken me about an hour to set it up. I'm showing the box like it's been gifted or something. #gifted. I paid and bought a new camera, and it's taken an hour to set up, and I still don't think I've done it properly, but I've managed just to get online in time. And the thing that did it for me, it got to like 55 minutes to the hour, and I literally just restarted my computer, that old chestnut, and then I turn it on, and then the camera's all synced, and it's fine.
Yeah, people rate Gianni's camera. Like, how good is this HD quality that we're seeing right now? Is it 4K or what? It does look clear, to be fair. Like, I know I only watch it on a laptop, but it does look clear.
It seems to have blurred the background a bit, which I don't love. Yeah. I like having my shirts on display, and I feel like they're not as crisp. The shirts aren't as crisp, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely like fully focused on you. Pete says even sexier. Jason says 11 out of 10. Leo says you're looking good. Gets Footy is just angry. He said, I'm fuming with this news about Luton. My Morris pick is in the mud.
Oh, it is. Yeah, because if you've got Morris in your squad, like 5.5 million forward, he's in your squad either to be player number 11 in your starting 11 or player number 12 first substitute. So yeah, you probably need to mix that up now. It does throw a spanner in the works, because as well, like when looking at Luton assets in the first 4, 5, 6 game weeks, that was the best fixture. Burnley at home was like, oh, okay, that's a real possible win there. Luton will be favourites in that fixture. So yeah, tricky one.
FPL Rubber Ducky is having a dig at you, mate. He says, shame your FPL advice is not a bit clearer as well. I like that.
Cheers, Rubber Ducky.
We're all mates.
I'll go off Jason's 11 out of 10. Thanks, mate. That is very generous. Very generous. Nuclear says we'll have those players on the bench anyway. Yeah, maybe Nuclear. And for third defenders, maybe it doesn't matter. But if you've got someone like Morris, Your first sub is often needed. Like, I don't think in the first few game weeks you need your second and third subs, but your first sub, you kind of want to be playing. So I think it will change things. Dean, we've seen Timber priced higher than Botman. He's coming at 5 million. Lingani says, how is Timber priced higher than Botman? I think Timber's fair price, 5 million for the Arsenal backline. Like, all the other Arsenal defenders are 5 million, other than Ben White at 5.5. So Timber, I think, it's a real good buy.
Yeah. Do you think that Botman is just like underpriced, just like a quirk of the pricing? Like,
yeah,
I mean, so.
Share is 5 million, like Trippier 6.5, Dan Burn is 5. So the other 3 Newcastle starting defenders, Botman is the cheapest of the starters.
Yeah. I had a bit of a panic up earlier because there was this news about Reece James having a scan today, and so I was like, oh no, I've got Reece in my team at the moment. I text one of my contacts that knows Reece well. Obviously the news has come out now, but I was like, what's going on? Like, is Reece okay? Yeah. He's like, yep, everything is totally fine. He was like, it's all good. It's just noise right now. They do these checks on injured players just as like protocol, basically. I said, okay. I was a bit worried about my FPL team and Reece, obviously, but my FPL team. He's like, you're all good, man. You're all good.
That's good to know.
So, yeah, exactly.
Because there was a bit of panic yesterday in the community when we saw like that it was perhaps doubtful that he wouldn't be going to the US. But
yeah, I can see this guy getting a few messages like this off me through the course of the season. To be honest, I should probably warn him.
Send him a bottle of wine now, mate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guys in the chat, good to see so many of you. We're reading all your comments as usual. Good to see Punter and Marks there. Paolo is with us. Frode. Where's CH today? Where's CH? Come on,
Pretty running behind. We are here at 6 o'clock rather than 7 o'clock, which might throw a few people off. Yeah.
And later in the show, we'll do a poll, maybe closer to 7 o'clock. So we've got a sort of fairer poll. Do you guys prefer 6 or 7? It'd be good to know. We're still going to do a bit of both, but it would be good for us to know. But yeah, if you fancy hitting that like button, guys, and subscribing, we've got Leo all the way from Israel. Love that. Love seeing what countries you guys are watching from. Mark saying
absolutely. 7. Yeah, I'm off to America soon, so I'll be doing a couple of these shows from out in California. So I'll try and set up a nice view so we can see what's going on out the window.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah,
that'd be good. Where in Cali are you going?
I'm going to San Diego. Yeah, so looking forward to that. But I will make sure as much as possible I can still join you all because I still need to get my team in shape and I don't want to be out the loop. So it'll be morning for me, I'm sure. But I will still be around getting. Yeah, honestly, like I feel like this is probably the earliest I've ever like done a first draft and actually thought it looked quite good. Yeah. Like usually I might just tinker around with it and wait, or maybe not even have logged in by now. I do think it's like a month before the game for any pre-seasons to have picked my team. Way too soon, really. But be interesting to see how much it changes by the time we get there.
Yeah, I'm expecting loads of tweaks to my team. Caleb's in Barbados, Keith in Scotland, Lynn is in Norway. Shout out to Lynn. Not seen you around here before, Lynn. So in the chat anyway, so do hit the like and subscribe button. Today's show is all about midfielders. We'll get to them shortly, but before we do, and we're going to look at a variety of midfielders, of which you can probably only accommodate. I mean, yeah, we're allowed 5 mids, but in terms of the price point we're going to be looking at, you probably can't have them all. So we'll be comparing them later in the show. But first up, I think we probably need a little bit of chat about what's been happening in the last few days in the footballing world. So without further ado, let's have a look at Fresh Off the Press.
Look, I basically, for the first time, I'm fed up of this Saudi Arabia stuff because they've come hunting my team.
Oh, Mitro.
Don't like this. I don't like this. It was all fine. They had a little go at our manager trying to get Marco Silva. And that, I was quite pleased the way that he kind of shrugged off 2 offers. But now they've come for Mitro, and I don't like it at all. So they've made 2 offers so far. Al Hilal. The first was ridiculous, like 30 million euros. The second offer, I think it's 35 million pounds, something like that. It's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. Fulham have rejected it. And my information, I've been speaking to a couple of people on the Saudi end of this, and they expect that Al Hilal walk away from this now.
Ah, interesting.
I hope so. I mean, the only thing that could twist this is like Mark says, is it right Mitro wants to go? I mean, I haven't personally heard that like he wants to go. I was told straight away, like, he's open-minded about this. He's listening to what they got to say. And I was like, fair enough. Of course he's going to do that. And there are reports now that Mitro's agreed personal terms and does actually want to go. So will Mitro force his way out of Fulham? Like, I never, ever thought I'd get to a situation where I was, contemplating whether he would do that. But he might. The only other time Fulham had a striker as good as Mitrovic was Louis Saha. And I remember being in the press conference and we asked Chris Coleman about Louis Saha leaving for Man United. And he said, he'll leave here over my dead body.
No way.
The next week, Louis Saha was gone. And Chris Coleman's still alive to this day. So, yeah, like, of course, like, anyone can go when you're a team like Fulham. Mark Nash says McBride. No, McBride is not as good as Louis Saha or Mitro. A cult hero, yes, but like not in this league. So let's wait and see, mate. I really, really hope he obviously doesn't go. It would be a disaster. I hope Al Hilal turn to other options. They already looked at Lukaku. They didn't get Lukaku. He turned it down. Yeah. Now they've gone for Mitro. I know that they've got other names. I was speaking to someone earlier about like who else they might go for. So it's like, okay, well, those players are fine for them. They should go for those ones. They are definitely gettable. They're more affordable. Go and get those lads. But yeah, what does this mean from an FPL perspective? It means a lot. It means a lot because
it means Andreas Pereira on penalties, possibly.
Yeah.
Although Mitro shouldn't be on them anyway.
Mitro shouldn't be on them anyway. So there's that. I did see when Fulham were in training the other day, I watched a video and Andreas was actually in his training kit. Like we thought he was injured for the start of the season. He was in his training kit and he was there. But when I was watching the actual like drills, he wasn't doing them. So I'm still not like entirely sure where he's at with it. So I'll keep a close eye on that. See what more videos that they put up there. You can replace him with Osimhen. If only we could. Look, the one thing we could do, his deputy at international level is Vlahovic. Let's go and get Vlahovic.
No chance. Al Hilal is where Ruben Neves went, and it's also where Koulibaly went, and it's also where Edouard Mendy went.
Well,
there's been
more than that,
big signings. Go on.
Milinkovic-Savic, one of Mitro's best mates, is also gone there.
Yeah, yes, that was literally yesterday, wasn't it? That was about 40 mil.
That's a painful one because obviously, like, countrymen, like, obviously, like, I don't know the exact personal terms around Mitro, but he's on about 100 grand, I think just under that, maybe even at Fulham a week. It's going to be way more than that. It's going to be sort of money that he would probably never get in his life. So we'll see, mate. It's, not very nice moment. Resting Pilgrim, if the Saudis are getting so many players this year, if they get the publicity for their league they want, their next few seasons could be carnage for the Premier League, not to mention player prices. I mean, it kind of already is a bit carnage in the Premier League. Like, I do feel like they're genuinely being eaten up a bit in a way that's just never happened. Like,
what's funny though is like that happens with a lot of other leagues, and the Premier League, like, oh no, they're taking a couple of our best players, and it's like, yeah, poor Serie A, Liga, and like this happens a lot elsewhere by the Premier League poaching the best in Serie A or the best in Liga.
Used to being the hunters, and now they're the hunted, and
that's what I'm trying to say.
It's a weird one. It's weird, and obviously, like, I don't love it because I'm watching the Premier League, but we'll see how accessible the Saudi league is once it gets going, and how I know they're trying to sort out all the rights around those games right now. So let's see what channel they actually end up being on. But
mate, the good news with Milinkovic-Savic is he's gone to Al Hilal.
That's where Mitro's going.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, he's gone to Al. Are you sure? Is that where Mitro's going? Because I thought we said Mitro was going to.
No, he's going to Al Hilal.
Okay. So that's the different club to Mendy's Koulibaly. Oh no, it is the same as Koulibaly. Sorry, I got it wrong.
No, you were right about everything you said.
Yeah, apart from Mendy isn't there. He's at Al-Ahly, which is where I got it wrong. And then there's Brozovic that's gone. I'm just looking at some of the names. Obviously, Gerrard in terms of manager. Bobby Firmino. There's rumours of Mahrez and Lingard and Lloris. Benzema's obviously already there. So yeah, there is some big names. There is some big names.
There is, yeah. A few years we will be playing Saudi FSPL. It'll be Fantasy Saudi Pro League. That's what
I played the Serie A game, and a question in the chat is: should we pay 12 million for Kvaratskhelia, because he's had a massive price rise? Last year it was something like 7 million, and now he's 12 million. The prices came out about an hour ago.
Oh right.
So yeah, you pay it a bit like with Haaland. You just pay whatever he's going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, off the press is just basically me crying this week about my Mitro. But let's get into the FPL stuff. Let's not be any more depressed. Come on, teach us a thing or two.
Yeah, let's get into FPL. And I can see loads in the chat actually look like they are playing Serie A Fantasy, which is good. So wonder if we will be playing the Saudi version. There we go. But look, let's move on. We've got loads to chat about. FPL, we're all drafting. We're busy drafting. So let's have a look now at midfielders in tips and chips. I've got to answer the question from Gets Footsie. Is Kvaratskhelia on penalties? So Osman wasn't great at pens last season, and Kvaratskhelia then was like, yeah, he's on them. And you'll remember from the Champions League, I think it was the semi or the quarterfinal, he actually missed a pen. So off the back of that, I'm not sure if it means Osman is back on them or not. So one of them will be, but I don't know. Let's see if Osman's even there. I really hope he will be. De Laurentiis has said he's only selling him for something ridiculous, like 160, 170 million. So yeah, I don't think any club will spend that.
No.
Dean, maybe at the end of the transfer window or towards game week 1, we do our all-star Saudi 11, and that could be quite fun.
By that point, I reckon they'll be close to. The aim was to get 50 recognisable stars into that league, and they've got about 20 now, and they've got well over a month to go. So we'll definitely have some depth options.
And they're splitting them between. Is it between 3 or 4? Is it 4 clubs? They're pretty much even.
4 of them are basically splitting them, but the Gerrard club is a different club that isn't owned by PIF. So that's Al Ettifaq, I think it's called.
Yeah.
So that's a different one. So that's a 5th one, the one that Henderson's going to. So yeah, very interesting.
Okay, so look, midfielder options now on screen. If you're listening in, then we have 3, 6, 7 midfielders on screen, and I think these are.
I'm making notes, by the way.
Let me
keep up.
Good man. So these are 7 of the most in-demand FPL assets in terms of midfielders. We have our one and only Liverpool option in terms of like everyone's radar is Salah. We've got 2 Uniteds, and Rashford and Bruno is a bit of a hot topic. Saka and Martinelli. We've not put Odegaard in because I don't want to make this the Arsenal midfield show, and I do think it's Martinelli way above Odegaard in the pecking order because you save 0.5 with Martinelli. I've gone Foden because I think Man City need a little bit more attention in midfield. Whether that's Mahrez or Grealish, I'm not sure yet. And then Mitoma is in everyone's draft. We could have also put Mbomo in, I guess. And look, I can see like Punter said Jota's a good differential, and you're right, he absolutely is. But we need to know he's starting first and foremost. So let's compare these 7 who we are keen to look at, not just the price, obviously, in the points last season, but the 2 middle columns. Like you can compare anything, right? We could look at expected data, we could look at goals and assists, we could look at penalty area touches or shots on target. But I wanted to do something that takes into account the minutes on the pitch and the starts on the pitch, because one thing we have to be wary of with players like Phil Foden is you can see he averages when he plays only 58 minutes last season. Yeah. So, yeah, he comes off the bench a bit in sort of 20, 30-minute cameos. Even when he starts, he's not getting 90. And Martinelli, whilst most of his appearances are starting, he's often getting hooked, 77 minutes. But, you know, Saka still has come off, as has Rashford, to conserve their energy. Likewise, Mitoma early on, I think, had quite a few appearances off the bench, so we can see why he's down at 70 as well. But reliable as ever, Salah and Bruno, just complete minutes monsters. They're never injured either. But then it's the points per start, which is really interesting. Like, how do these players perform when they start? Because if we think we can predict their starts, then we should be comparing the points per start. So with players like Matoma, for example, now we know he's in the 11, that 5.3 is really, really strong. It's actually stronger than Bruno last season, which is really, really interesting. Like, if we rank this in order from points per start, we have Salah at number 1, Rashford at number 2. We'd probably have expected that. Interestingly, Martinelli ahead of Saka, likewise Foden ahead of Saka. Then it is Saka to Matoma, and then Bruno to finish us off. So looking at those numbers with points per start, Dean, like, it shows me that, yeah, Salah is still, of course, the best option. But the big question between Rashford and Bruno, this is another argument to suggest Rashford's the better option.
Yeah, what would you do if United haven't signed a number 9 before the season starts?
I mean,
is that more reason to have him, or is it less?
Most would say more, but I'd say less, because I like him playing on the left. But you could argue if they do sign a 9, or when they sign a 9, they'll take up a lot of the big chances, and a lot of the energy will. If it's an elite number 9 they go and buy, it's like that's a lot of funneling towards the number 9, and therefore Rashford could, his assist threat increases, but perhaps his goal threat dips. So it's hard to tell. I think regardless, I'd be saying I'm pro Rashford.
Yeah, I haven't really contemplated getting Bruno in at the moment, to be honest with you. It's not really one that's on my radar. Like as one I need. Is because you can get to him quite quickly and easily at 8.5. Like, I'm not too concerned about starting the season for him. I'd be more concerned about leaving Salah, like planning to avoid him completely, and he starts on fire and you've suddenly got to get there. Yeah. That concerns me more. But I feel like there are a lot of people not going Salah, so there will be time to get on that train because everyone's going to be in the same boat. So, Rashford from United is my one. I watched Mason Mount's debut in midweek.
Oh, yeah, go on.
Obviously, like, it's his first 45 minutes. There's only so much you can read into it, but played on like the left side of the midfield, like driving through. I actually thought he had a good game. He got a bit of disrespect on social media.
Sure.
Some silly highlights reels going around and people judging his performance on it. Like, honestly, he was good. I actually liked what he was doing. His passing was good. Looked to get him behind a couple of times too. Any set piece, he was running straight over to it, trying to.
Was he?
Mate, he was on a free kick within about 2 minutes, I think it was. There was a free kick on the right side. He was straight over to it. I mean, look, Bruno wasn't playing and stuff, but
was Luke Shaw on the pitch at the time? Probably not. I don't think he did play, did he? Because I do think we'll see the three of them sharing responsibilities. I'm interested to see corners.
Yeah, so Mount was on corners. I thought he did well. I really did.
I saw his little chip attempt, and he won the ball. What Mount does so better than any other midfielder in the Premier League is his intensity on the press. So he will win the ball back better than anyone in terms of off ball, just pressing. And he did. He won it back, got the shot, and went for the little dink, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, so he's not on this list, Mount, but at 7 million, I do feel like he could be an option here. I really do feel like he could. Ten Hag spoke about him really nicely after the game, talking about what he's going to bring to this team. And I'm a believer. Like, I don't know he's going to set the world on fire, but this isn't a signing I'm expecting to flop. So, yeah it's interesting.
Oh, I like that. I think these numbers just kind of reiterate that those top 4 are the standout 4 midfielders in the game by a country mile. And I think the Rashford Bruno argument's easy. I think you could go both if you want Bruno too, or as Dean says, like, let's consider Mason Mount. But the top 4 are clear and away. Like, look at even the total points from last season. I know Odegaard was sort of very similar to Saka and Martinelli, but with the prices that they are, with the Saka penalty appeal, and by the way, Saka did score in pre-season yesterday. It was a well-taken goal. So the typical Saka-style goal. But Martinelli's numbers really impressed me there. The points per start even higher than Saka. And I think there's an argument to say both those Arsenal mids should being a team. And if you do have Gabby Jesus, and I know a ton of you do have Gabby Jesus, myself included, maybe all 3 is the answer. Just for the first 3 fixtures. Because the first 3 fixtures, it's like Forest, Palace and Fulham. 2 at home.
Yeah, it's true. Robert Ducky says Mount is a squad player. I don't believe that.
Please.
No, I don't believe that. Like, they haven't spent £55 million on a squad player. I don't believe that Mount will be that. We'll see. One of us will be right. One of us will be wrong.
No, mate, I can tell you, you're 100%. Robert Ducky is quacking up the wrong tree here.
He's got the number 7. He cost £55 million up front, and he's better than a lot of the Man United players. Like, the way that they're going to set up next season, he's going to be playing. Craig's in the chat, by the way. Craig, big shout out. Got your book, mate. I'm still going with this FPL journal. I'm loving the old school approach to my FPL team. I've got my drafts going in there. If you want to have an old school approach to this season, then join me and get your copy of the FPL journal. It's really fun. Like, actually going back to this. Like, as I said before, it feels like like 16 doing my dream team on a bed chair in like Tenerife or something with mum and dad. But it's good fun. It is good fun, and my kids colouring the kits at the same time. So we've got off piece there, but FPL journal all the way.
There we go. Let's talk about the two at the bottom, Foden and Matoma. Foden, 7.5 million, same price as Mahrez, same price as Grealish. Bernardo Silva, 6.5. If we want midfield Man City cover because we think owning Haaland isn't enough, De Bruyne is 10.5. We're going to just rule him out for the time being. Where do we look? Because I think it should be best of a great bunch because they're Man City and they score loads of goals. My fear is minutes, and my fear is the risk of going Foden and have my heart broken by Pep. I kind of want to see Bernardo Silva be sold and go, Mahrez is absolutely nailed week in, week out. Or I want to see one of them just completely fly in pre-season where they kind of... Grealish we know is nailed, but I need Foden or Mahrez to show me something to go there, to trust that come game week 1, 2 and 3, they're going to start all 3 of them. And I think Grealish will, and I'm not sure the other 2 will.
Well, Mahrez might not even be there. Bernardo might not even be there. So we don't know. Like,
any links with replacements, Dean, for those if they do go?
They're not really planning on replacements at the moment. Like, that really is the message. It's funny because I was speaking to someone last week, and they are adamant that Gvardiol is coming in and Kovacic is there, and that was always the plan. Now, because Kyle Walker's going as well as Cancelo, they have to look at that because, like, they're probably going to need something else. They've got Sergio Gomez and Rico Lewis who can come in as squad players. But there was talk today, they were linked with Benjamin Pavard today, Man City, as a Kyle Walker replacement. So we'll see how that comes together. But in terms of a Bernardo and Mahrez replacement, haven't heard anything at all. Nothing. So, yeah, interesting.
It's a good point. Manchester United says Foden plus 4.5 million striker, which is what I've got in my current draft, or Nkunku plus 4.5 million midfielder. And it's an interesting one. It's like for like. Are you picking Foden or Nkunku? And actually, maybe Nkunku, if we see something pre-season, is worth a shout. The problem is we know Nkunku's going to get all the minutes going. The issue is the team he's playing in and how they click. And we know Man City, if Foden's on the pitch, he'll be getting points. Craig says, what about Alvarez? Could he play on the right? We've seen Alvarez play. I thought we'd see him on the right quite a bit, and we didn't last season. And we saw him playing the Kevin De Bruyne role when he wasn't in the Haaland role. And he's always been fairly central. But I thought we'd see this a lot like we saw with Gabby Jesus. And you often see with second strikers, they end up playing in the wide forward positions when they're playing really well, but they can't get in at number 9. But we haven't seen that yet much with Alvarez. Do you think we will, Dean?
I don't think it's part of the plan. Maybe they'll be forced into it if they do end up losing too many players, but hasn't been mooted as something to expect. So it's not really what I anticipate happening.
Didn't see it with Argentina ever either. Like when Lautaro was playing well, we didn't see Alvarez getting minutes on the right. Like he's always only ever really been central as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, exactly that. But look, Foden is a cheap route into the City team. Like he's not bad value at all at that money. If he does start taking off, we're all going to be jumping on him. Obviously, City have got a nice set of fixtures to get the season underway. We've spoken about the fact that Gundogan leaving probably does give Foden a chance of more minutes already in the midfield. So if Bernardo goes as well, that happens. even more. And the thing with Foden, even if he is playing a deeper role, there's no way he's not going to push on and he's not going to find spaces.
Yeah.
And of course, the other thing that actually might be really good is if City come back to cutbacks and things like that and late runs into the box, Foden's all over it. So actually his goal output potentially could actually go up.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. I really am. What about Mitoma and Brighton, Dean? Because again, brilliant fixtures to start the season. A lot of us want Brighton cover, whether it's a Stupinan at the back and a midfielder, or whether it's a Stupinan and Ferguson. Midfield options, Mitoma feels like the best. Solly March is the same price point. And Solly March had a very good season. There was very little between the two. Do you think we should perhaps be looking at both, or is it just Mitoma for you? Like, Mitoma's my standout. He's not left any of my drafts or thinking since kind of I made my team on day one.
Mate, it has never left my mind what you said about when Jules was watching Brighton and you spoke to her.
Yeah.
She watches Brighton every week and she's like, no, if it's out of March Mitoma, you go Mitoma.
I went against her. It's foolishly.
Yeah. And obviously, like, March had a great run and like he had a really good season, but Mitoma is a goal threat. Like, he's an actual like out and out goal threat. Brighton got 3 good opening fixtures. Look, you look at the form from last season and you have to trust that to some degree. So if you look at the fact they've got a good start to the season, the team is slightly weakened, I guess, because they've lost McAllister and they probably lose Caicedo. But you still can rely all the time. You could rely on these guys performing. And Mitoma was a regular performer, producing points all the time. I guess your risk, like you say, is jumping on the wrong one because you could. Pascal Gross had a really good season as well in terms of FPL. And he's barely gets a mention this season.
True.
So
he got more points than Mitoma and March. But because he often was sort of playing right back or at DM at times, a bit under the radar. But Pascal Gross will probably be on a lot of set pieces. He'll probably have pens. Now McAllister's not there. He could even play in the McAllister number 10 role when McAllister did play 10. So yeah, Gross should definitely. Manchester United says Gross might be on pens. Gross will be on pens. I'd be very surprised if he wasn't. Like, he's got a really good record. And Cisso's 12.5% owned. Second highest Brighton mid, says Punter. I do like Enciso, but I'm just worried about those minutes.
I don't know about minutes. A lot of people have been asking me this. Obviously, the last show that went out on ranks as well, I got a few messages after on the pod, people saying, no Enciso, love? Like, that's surprising. You know, he could be like one of the big stars of next season if we see more of what we saw last season.
It could be.
And it's legitimate. It's 100% legitimate argument, but it's guesswork. It's complete guesswork at this point as to what we actually get from him. But his potential, definitely through the roof. Colm has just come up with one of my favourite messages the entire time we've ever done this show. He says, apologies. Sorry I'm late. Had to go to the shops and forgot my phone. Like, you don't have to apologise, mate. Like, it's absolutely
I'm disappointed. I am disappointed, Colm. We'll remember that comment for a long time, though. Thanks, Colm. We do read, literally. I don't think there's a comment in the chat that goes by we don't pick up on.
Honestly, I love it.
We read everything, don't we?
It always annoys me, actually, when I see other shows and everyone's chatting away and even asking stuff, and people, whether it's football or not football, just completely ignore it, like it's not there. It's like, but they're the reason you're actually here. Like, these are the people like coming to watch you, and you've got a chance to talk to them. Like, this isn't a TV show. People aren't just like sat in the room and not able to talk to you. The whole point of this is it's supposed to be interactive. Like, I've always thought that with YouTube shows that are live. So
yeah, don't do them live if you're not interested in the comments.
Exactly.
Or the live chat.
Just pre-record it and just stick it out.
Yeah. All the videos I do on my own channel are pre-recorded, but one thing I absolutely love doing is reading the comments, because I'm like, you're going to take the time to comment on the video you've just watched. I'm going to get back to you. So for all you guys watching on catch up and you're not in the live chat right now, do drop a comment, because our producer of the show goes through, I go through. Always good to sort of chat with you guys, whether you're live or not. But those in the live chat, we absolutely love our chasers. So yeah, thank you for adding to the discussion. And you guys often produce the agenda. If you've got anything you want to see on the agenda for the next few shows, by the way, like if you've got a certain theme you want to look at, whether it's like best premium defenders or if you want to look at captaincy or whatever, I mean, that's an easy discussion this season at the moment. Then yeah, let us know in the chat, because you do shape the agenda.
Just arrived. CH
no.
is here. Yeah.
Where have you been, CH? Not happy.
You got a shout out earlier, CH, because we noticed you weren't here, but you've made up for it. I said probably just late. Probably just didn't realise it was a 6:00 start tonight. No fines at this stage of the season. It's just pre-season, so we're all getting used to the new scheduling, the new agenda.
Chasers fine list. That's what we need. A Chasers forfeit list.
Of course, as we didn't notice his comment, I thought you'd have berated me for saying Lewis Potter as a potential watch list gem. Go on, G, give him some love.
Well, look, of course, you win some, you lose some. We don't see all those comments, but yeah, if we'll have our little gem watch list, and I'm not sure Lewis Potter will be on there. But yeah, Colm says say the line, CH, say the line. Love Dean's transfer news and updates every week, says Craig as well. And yeah, that's definitely a permanent part of the show, especially during the transfer window. We also are looking to answer your questions all the time. Guys, can you do us a favor? We want to do a quick poll about the time, because I'm noticing like tonight seems a little bit quiet in terms of numbers watching. And I wonder if you guys are so used to us doing 7 p.m. that loads of you won't know we're going live at 6, which is what we did tonight. But it'd be good to know who prefers 6 and who prefers 7. And now that we're halfway into the show, I feel like this is is a more fair test. Because if I asked a question at 6:05, do you prefer 6 or 7? Then obviously everyone watching at 6 they're going to be pro 6 o'clock. But now we're at 6:40. I wonder if we can pop that question into a poll and you guys can answer. Whatever your answer, we're probably going to do a bit of both, but it would be good to see.
Yeah, I mean, the schedule will sometimes be determined by fixtures too. I think the first game of the new season is on a Friday, isn't it? So that
first 3 weeks.
First 3 weeks, there's Friday games, is there?
Might even be 4.
Wow. Well, we'll definitely be changing the schedule because that won't work at all. But
first 4. That's right. I hate Friday deadlines. First 4 weeks. That is mental. So that's a Sky Sports thing because they have the rights to the Friday night games. They clearly just wanted to start the season big.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, I guess it'll be Thursday, 6 or 7. CH Chasers are like Pavlov's dogs. You've trained us well. During school, 6 p.m. is better. I like that.
Oh, it's a close
you all
one.
drooling just at the thought of us coming live.
This is as close as the poll when we did Bruno versus Rashford the other day.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just watching the poll and being distracted just by watching the...
Yeah, we've barely done any FPL chat in about the last 10 minutes. We should probably get back to it.
Yeah, we probably should. So, guys, if you've got any FPL questions, then do let us know. Like, well up for showing you, answering your questions. But also, I'm keen to show you our Chasers team. For those that didn't see, we put together a team that you guys voted for. Our Chasers voted in polls. So, if we can, we'll pop that team up on the screen. And just want to recap, because this, to me, firstly, is an amazingly strong team. Secondly, it's really close to my original draft. But thirdly, it's very template. It's very template. And I'm not sure if the Chasers want to go template this year. This is the team we want to probably have a bit more fun with. So are there any positions that you look at and think we need to make wholesale changes? Let us know in the chat. And if we see a common theme, maybe we'll put together a poll to even remove a player or two. This team will be submitted. Dean and I will have our own teams, and we're not allowed to, so we might have to get a friend that's not playing, or maybe our producer can find a way of having a friend's team involved. But yeah,
my FPL Matty's just coming with an apology for being late. This is getting actually quite funny. The amount of people apologising for their timings
that's the
tonight.
Third apology. We love
Hello,
you,
Matty.
FPL,
Thanks for coming, mate.
Matty, you've just may have seen there is a poll in the chat. You can vote for a 6 or 7 p.m. start time on these Friday streams. Danish says remove Trent. Mad says Trent to Sean and Bomo to Fernandez. Salah should be there, says Sherwin. Oh, okay. Let's just go for a Trent, yes or no.
Oh, okay.
There's a few saying Trent out, and we can think about his replacement when we know.
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, that makes a big difference how much money we're going to have to mess around with.
Does free up a ton of cash, doesn't it? Have you considered Trent out, Dean? Because my first draft was locked for Trent. Then the second draft that I'm putting together at the moment, I'm looking at going without.
I haven't got him, mate. I haven't got him in my first draft. It's Estupinan, James, Ake, Pedro Porro and Bulldog at the moment. That is my 5 as it stands, and I don't actually have any intention of getting Trent as it stands. I need to see that it's coming together. I tell you, one thing that concerns me a bit about Liverpool is obviously we'll see if Henderson and Fabinho actually leave, but if they end up, say they sign Lavia, say their starting midfield is Lavia, Szoboszlai, McAllister, and Trent. I mean, it's a 4 that have never played together before. They've not got that much experience, to be honest. Even in the Premier League, Trent's only played that position for 10 games in his life. There's a lot to work out there, so I need to see how that all comes together.
Yeah, same. By the way, the poll on the time was something like 51-49. No, it wasn't. It was 59-61. No, 59-41. My maths is terrible.
It is.
So yeah, we might be back at 7 next week.
Oh mate, this is tight. This Trent poll is tight.
Oh wow! Because I'm really surprised by that. I thought so. At the moment, it's looking like we might be selling Trent.
Good. Honestly,
it would make it more fun because we might be able to squeeze in a Salah somewhere.
Yeah, I want to see us make this team different for sure. Danny says Trent is an asset you can always sell down to the informed 5.5, which is a good point, to be fair. But as Of-Course says as well, there's no guarantee Trent always plays in that role. So 8 million is a lot. I mean, I think he will, but I take your point, Of-Course. We don't know that for sure at the moment. We're going on a few games at the back end of last season, but the way that it's been spoken about,
midfield, it is interesting, isn't it?
They were short in midfield. Now at the moment they've got 9 midfielders to choose from, plus Trent,
and they haven't signed a right back.
They haven't signed a right back yet. I do think the defender is the next place they go. So I think, especially if they do get in 50 million for Fabinho and Henderson, so that does happen. They already had some money left over that they hadn't spent, so they'll go out, get Lavia, and then I think go and invest in another defender. I imagine that's where they're heading.
Mate, it looks like I think we can probably close the poll. 56% say no. So before we think about a Trent replacement, so we know how much money we've got to spend on 2 players rather than just 1, what are we going to do with that Trent money? So we need to know what midfielder we're also selling, because we're going to be investing that money somewhere. It's going to be in midfield. We're not selling Haaland, Jesus. We're not strengthening the bench. So let's decide what midfielder needs to go. So do we poll for Foden, Mbomo, or Matoma to go? Maybe we put those 3 up, and you pick which one leaves our team.
Definitely, I'm looking forward to voting on this one too.
Okay, great. So we won't put Rashford and Saka in because we know you guys will want to keep them. But we're going to be selling Foden. We're going to be selling Matoma. We're going to be selling Mbomo. Let's see which one we sell, and then with that, we'll work out what midfielder defender combination we want to do with the Trent and the ex-midfielder money.
Yep, absolutely. Let's get on it. Let us know, people, what you're thinking. And Bomo's getting a lot there, which is interesting. Chat Sports says James and Chilwell double up. I can't be doing a Chelsea defensive double up before I've seen them play under Poch, and with this new team of under 21s that they're building. They've built the best under 21 team you've ever seen. But I don't know if it works together yet.
Matt, I saw an Instagram pic or video of Madueke working out in, I think he's in Mykonos or something, with Declan Rice and Bruno, random sort of.
Oh yeah, they're all in Portugal on a training camp.
Is it Portugal?
I think it is. Yeah, it's called the Campus. Yeah, they're all in a special training camp together.
He looks sharp,
weird,
Madueke.
isn't it? Yeah, it's a bit weird that those lads are all
seeing them all together. Yeah,
it's really strange.
And because Rafa Leao was with them, and I was Rafa Leao with Declan Rice. It's funny.
So random.
Which midfielder would you have leave the Chaser 11? Oh, I don't even know which one to vote for.
This is great. This is a great vote. Make sure you all give this a go. I want to see 180 votes on this because that's how many of you are watching right this second. I'm going.
We want 180 likes as well, by the way, guys.
Oh, nice.
If only 53 of you have hit the like button, how are we getting more than 53 of you voting in these polls? You clearly assigned, you can click the like.
Yeah, I don't understand that either. And Burmo just shot into the lead as you started talking.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pleased. Emmanuel says Burmo is on penalties, which is true. But
it is true. I think he's left my team as well. And I've got Foden and Matoma. And Bomo's left my team. I
think their start to the season is actually a bit dangerous.
Okay.
I think Tottenham are not going to want. Andrew's not going to want to lose his first game as Tottenham manager, and I think that will be extremely tight game. Fulham away, it's a derby. Like if Fulham managed to keep Mitro, if our team's what it was last season, we don't have a great record against Brentford, but at home, like we're okay against them, and I fancy we would beat them at home.
Yeah.
And then Crystal Palace at home, like you don't know. You really don't know what you're getting there. So, I think it's plausible that Brentford lose their first 3 games of the season.
Oh, that'd be huge.
I really do, because we're going on I don't know, we just don't have a long history of Brentford in the Premier League and these players in the Premier League and adjusting season to season, other teams analysing them and going at them. So always a bit sceptical about whether they can do it again. Third season syndrome. You heard it first.
And we don't know about Raya, right? We can't ignore how good Raya's been for them. And with him unsettled, there's a very good chance
the new guy might be rubbish.
Starts, game week 1 and doesn't take to the Premier League well at all. So, I think okay. So look, it looks like Mbomo's gone. So we've got 8 million from Trent plus 7 million. So we've got £500,000 in the bank. So we've got £15 million to spend. Whew. Options. 15 million allows us to find a way of getting a Martinelli, but we'd have to sell Gabriel. We could buy Bruno. If you guys really wanted to stretch to Mo Salah, we could probably do that and make 2.5 saving somewhere else.
The last 2 comments. Michael squeezing Salah. Sherwin, Salah poll. Mark, Salah and a £2.5 million defender. Let's do a Salah poll. Let's see.
Salah, yes or no?
Yeah, we've got to do it. We've got to do it.
Oh, we got to do it. Ivan Toney recommended betting on Brentford losing the first 3 fixtures. Okay. When I saw breaking news from Tony, I don't know why, but I thought that was going to be legit breaking news. How naive. Should we squeeze in? Wow. I mean, it's going to be split this.
Well, no, it's not so far. I mean, it's gone heavy on no on my from what I can see.
Yeah, because he's not in most of the Chasers teams.
Yeah. It's a dangerous one to leave him out, but it's just so expensive.
And I'm thinking, how are we going to save that 2.5 as well? That's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So where do we go? We've just looked at the midfielder chart. Can we bring back the midfielder chart if we can? Because we're looking at Mbomo thinking who we replaced him with. We've just compared 7 of the best. So we can't do Salah. We've got Rashford and Saka. Well, Martinelli and Bruno, the 2 obvious candidates. I mean, Son is an option. And a lot in the chat are saying go for Son.
Yeah. How much is Son?
9. Leave us with 6 for a defender, which would be more than enough.
Yeah, I mean, I guess otherwise you've got, Jota 8, Maddison 7.5, Grealish 7.5, Eze at 6.5. That's a bit of a different one. And Ciso's 5.5. Let us know, people. What path do you think we should be going down? Ellis says, get Son in, lads. CH says, the FOMO team, all those players we want but can't get in. Odegaard, says Neil.
Well, let's go. Should we poll it?
Poll it, yeah.
Let's put Martinelli in there. I know we've got Gabriel. If we go Martinelli, guys, it means we've got to sell Gabriel as well. But let's go. The options are Martinelli, Bruno, or I guess we go Son, don't we?
Yeah. Gotta be.
Okay. Yeah, CH says Martinelli, Bruno, Odegaard. We're not going to do Odegaard because that ticks the Martinelli box there. If you vote Martinelli, I think you're backing Arsenal regardless.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Salah, by the way, guys, gets footsie. Says no Salah. Should we go Mo Salah? No, said 55%.
Yeah. Salah not getting into our lineup. Got a big cross through his name in my special notebook. Right, here's the poll. It is live. Get voting right now. It's your team. Make sure you've had your say. You lot are going to be cheering these lads on throughout next season. So let us know which option you want. I'm going to have a vote here.
Oh, it's tight. It's a third each at the moment. Pretty much.
It? Oh, this vote matters. Who do I think? I'm going to make it a bit of a differential. I'm going to go for Son because I'm definitely not picking my own team.
Yeah, true. Oh, wow. It's so even. I went Martinelli. Mate, it's 33, 33, 33.
What?
That's just changed, but it was. Oh, it's back to 33, 33, 33. This is
my
fun.
goodness.
It's like watching like the like, you know, when you go into a bookies and you watch the virtual like horse racing or dogs.
It is. This is actually quite good. Martinelli's just
I don't
edging
know
it
how
all
we're
the
going to
time though.
decide.
Martinelli's always edging it. Like if you see who always goes into the lead on mine, it's like it's always Martinelli that just goes in front. At the moment, I'm like even on Martinelli and Son.
Whoever has the next vote probably takes it.
74 votes. Come on, there's like
whoever has the
odd
75th will let decide. Shall we do that?
Someone vote. Someone vote.
Whoever
now.
gets the next vote. Oh, it's still Martinelli Son level.
Oh, 2 people voted and they picked one each.
Next vote wins. Who's going to be 77? Any takers? Going once. Going twice. Oh, it's gone. Martinelli.
Martinelli. I mean, I think that was right because he was the general leader and he's won it by a nose. So Martinelli.
Oh, mate, we've got 6 minutes left of the show. Okay, so Martinelli is in our team. So let's bring back our team. We had 15 million to spend. We've now got 7 million to spend. Is that right? No. Yeah. 7. Yeah.
So
we've got to sell Gabriel.
Sorry that we haven't updated this, people. We've literally just done this on the fly. So Mbamo is no longer in that team and Martinelli is there.
So we've got 13 million to buy 2 defenders. Gabriel is gone. Trent is gone.
Yep.
So 13 million allows us to well, let's do a poll. Let's put Luke Shaw in because the world and their dog is going to say Luke Shaw.
Yep.
So he's 5.5. So take 5.5 off 13.
Yeah.
Gives us 7, 8. No, huh? What am I doing?
No, I'm not doing the maths. I'm not.
Yeah, 7.5, I think. No, I've lost now. I can't remember what question I asked.
Someone tell us how much money we got to spend.
Gabriel goes, Trent goes, Shaw comes in.
Shaw and Botman. A few people saying Shaw and Botman. Shaw and Chilwell. Shaw and Chilwell's getting quite a bit of love. So a few people write that.
I think we've got 7.5 million to spend on a defender. So we can have any 2 defenders we want. I think it's probably Shaw and Chilwell, isn't it?
Shaw and Chilwell is quite nice. That is nice.
Oh, there's people saying that Nkunku in. Let's not confuse it too much.
No, we're not going to Nkunku. So we've got Botman. We've got Estupinan. We got Bayer. And to replace Trent and Gabriel with Shaw and Chilwell. Are we happy with that?
I like that.
Are you happy with that, most of you? Shaw and Chilwell, yes or no? If we get the majority yes, we go with it.
I like it, yeah.
There we go. Next poll. Shaw plus Chilwell, yes or no? Let's get
loads of yeses in the chat already. Craig and Michael saying yes. Jason saying do it. Oh, this is a more fun team now. No draft has got Chilwell. Very few drafts have got... who do we go for in the midfield?
Martinelli.
Very few drafts got triple Arsenal attack.
Yeah. That is it. That I do like that. I mean, this team is going to win the whole thing. How we're going to decide who gets the prize when we suddenly win 2 tickets to 2 Premier League games and we're flown in.
Mate, so Ali's coming to London, or he's hoping to come to London in August, and he gets a week in a hotel on the Premier League, and he gets matches to 2 games. So he's going to try and see 2 Arsenal homes in the space of 7 days by like playing the fixtures right.
Ali, if you're still in the chat, I saw you were here a bit ago.
Was he? I didn't see him.
Yeah. Ali, what time does the party start? What is the hotel? It's a Chasers party in the Emirates Stadium for your big bash, your big winners party. You are not getting away with it, mate. We are definitely having a party.
Oh, mate, we should go to London and meet Ali and do like a Chasing Green Arrows live from his hotel room or something.
Yes. Everyone is invited. Was he allowed to bring someone in the end? You know, because
he's got a plus. I think he's probably bringing his wife because it says I read on the FPL website the rules the other day, and it said it was for 2 tickets.
Good,
for 2,
because I mean that'd be absolutely ludicrous if you had to go and do it on your own. It's not enjoyable. Good. Yeah, I'm happy about that.
Guys, we'll show you the Chasers team. So Few saying Shirts team. We'll show you it at the start of the next show. But to confirm, it's the team on screen with Luke Shaw instead of Trent, with Chilwell instead of Gabriel, and with Martinelli instead of Mbomo. And that, by the way, is pretty much my latest draft as well. So that's funny.
Yeah, the team's running across the bottom now. It's a good team. That is a good team. I'm liking it a lot.
Yeah, because with Arsenal triple attack, you'll get the clean sheet 6-pointers from Gabriel or Ramsdale, whoever you go for. But with the Arsenal attack, I look at those first 3 games and just think, I want tickets to the draw where I'm getting a 15-pointer. And you get 15 pointers from your midfielders and your forwards when the team wins 3 or 4-0. And I think those 3 Arsenal fixtures, Forest and Fulham at home, Palace away, but those 2 games, they're going to have 3 or 4-0ers.
If they go on a tear across those first 3 games, honestly, like those 3 are filling their boots. There's no doubt. I've got faith in that. Imagine Arsenal have got 15 goals by the 3rd game of the season. This team is going to be top of the league.
Yeah, I like it. There we go. Mark, we will poll Jesus out before we go, and we will give you... Yeah, let's poll it then. We'll do a 30-second poll. Jesus out, yes or no. And if the answer is yes, we will find a replacement in the next show for him.
Okay. All right, that's fair. Let's go. Let's get this going.
CH, so you guys seeing this as Jesus' poll? Look, when CH speaks, we listen.
Absolutely. People watching on catch up are like just gutted that they're not part of this. Sorry, everyone. Like, leave your comments in to let us know if you're happy with the team that we've built on your behalf, because we know that a lot of the views obviously are going up a lot after the shows. So there's maybe more of you watching after the event than actually live. Do come and join us if you ever get the chance, because honestly, like, being here in the moment is just brilliant, like going through all this stuff. So do try and join us at 6 or 7 o'clock whenever we decide to do these shows.
And let us know in the comments, like, if you're watching it on catch up, like, let us know if you feel a little bit neglected, or let us know if you still enjoy the show. Like, I'd hate to think you're all switching off because you're not in the live chat, but I'm guessing it's still pretty good viewing, isn't it? And you also probably want to know the results of the polls, because that is telling you what the FPL community are doing with their transfers, right? And we want to know about ownership, and we want to know where themes are going and where people are moving towards. So hopefully still knowing the outcome, which we're filling you in with, is still really useful.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Gabby Jesus is getting kicked out.
Oh, I'm gutted with that.
I can't believe this.
We're going to have to go in cuckoo. Well, we'll talk about it on Monday.
Yeah. Colm says Mitrovic played 24 and got 14 goals. Jesus played 26 and got 11. I mean, I'm not sure if everyone's gone on that logic, but... Oh, hang on. It's gone 50-50 suddenly. Oh, no, it's started to win. It started to tip the other way. Gabby Jesus has just come running back into the building, said, I'm not finished yet. This is tight. We're on 70 votes. Let's let it run for another minute while we play out this show, because this matters as to whether Gabby Jesus is voted out of the Chaser 11. Because if he's gone now, he ain't coming back before the season starts. I can promise you that. Get voting if you care. I think you should all care.
I'm back in Betfred now, mate, watching the horses.
Emmanuel says this show is great. Should come to stay throughout the FPL. Yeah, don't worry about that. We'll be here talking this through with you. We are not going anywhere.
Someone commented on a stream when we did the first poll show, which got awesome feedback, by the way. But someone did say, look, I come here for tips and chips, and you're just talking about polls all show. So I know loads love it, but just so you know, throughout the season, we will be doing this, but it will be like a dedicated 10 minutes every Friday.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this is just going to be a segment in the show, 100%. But right now, like, we're doing the team build. Like, and we've done some tips. We went through the midfielders earlier on in the show. Like, we've given that some love, and we've answered questions along the way. So I think you all know, like, where our heads are at. Kick Gabby Jesus out of the Chaser 11 at the moment. No, 51%.
Jesus has risen. Thanks, Craig.
I think he might win it. I think Gabby Jesus might.
There we go.
Have won it. I think he's saying.
Yeah, there we go. 86 votes. 51% saying no, he has to stay in the 11. Yes, he has. No. Oh, okay, 52 now. So yeah, done. Jesus stays.
Oh, that was fun. I enjoyed every second of that. Thanks, everyone. That was really good interaction. And even if you're not completely satisfied with having Gabby Jesus on the team sheet, I promise you that guy's going to deliver in those first 3 games for us.
Yeah, mate, when we do a poll like that, when it's simply one player, yes or no, we should have a rule which says we're now not allowed to poll that player yes or no again till the end of the season. Like, he's done his thing where he's stood on the cliff edge and he's had his jeopardy.
Yep.
Now, we might do it with other players, but Jesus is now a lock for game week 1 if he's fit.
If he's going to get injured next week. Oh, dear.
There we go. Awesome show.
Brilliant. Thanks,
I
everyone.
can't wait to come back on Monday now. We will be showing you that Chaser team, new and improved, hopefully. And we'll be back with another big deep dive on either a position or a big burning question from the FPL community. Today we did midfielders. If you are just joining us, go back and watch the last hour. We've done transfer chat from Saudi Arabia. We've done tips and chips from all the big midfielders, the popular midfielders in the FPL game. And we've had a bit of fun answering your questions. Guys in the chat, as always, you've made it the Friday night we come to see. But for now, he's been Dean, I've been Gianni, and we've been chasing green arrows. See you later.